Okay, in this section we're going to look at the legs, what the legs are doing in the silk wheeling movement. Okay, so first we'll look at basic details of the stance. So we're going to get into a Tai Chi horse stance. So you can go wider and lower if you want to work harder, but we'll stay in a sort of middle stance. You can stay higher and narrower if you need to as well. So feet out, so toes not forward, toes out a little bit. You sink into your hips so your knees are bent. Remember, you can go lower, but don't bend from your knees. Can you see? This is bending from the knees. You try to sink into your hips, which bends your knees, but not bending from your knees this way. You try to sink down with your body upright. So again, out, toes out a little bit. Not too much, not forward, just slightly out to the side. So you sink down to a comfortable height. Shift to your left. So when we shift in Tai Chi, we don't actually shift side to side. Not this way. So it might look like this, but we don't shift this way. We always shift on a backwards arc. Okay? So whether it's forward, there's always like a little arc as well, but we're only going to look at the side shiftings at the minute. So weight onto your left. So shift on a backwards arc to your right leg. And then from here, we're going to shift back to your left leg on a backwards arc. So again, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So when you shift, don't shift too much. So this is going to put pressure on your knee. So your knee needs to stay above your foot, not too much this way. So again, shift, not too much, just enough. So to the side. So this time, I'll show you from the side. So on a backwards arc, on a backwards arc. So when you shift, make sure you don't shift too much so your knee goes over your toes, so above your thigh. So shift on a backwards arc, shift on a backwards arc. Okay, so from the front, so weight back to your left. So 1, 2, 1, 2. And when you shift, your empty leg, or the leg with less weight on, the knee is still bent. You don't straighten your leg. You keep your knee bent. So you shift, 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 shift. Okay, so from here, you're going to shift back to the right and the backwards arc. Then turn from your waist out diagonally. So then you shift on a backwards arc, then turn diagonally. Shift 1, 2, turn diagonally. Shift 1, 2, turn diagonally. So it's like you're making a figure of 8 with your legs. So you're shifting, spiraling, twining, all from your legs. So you rotate, rotate. So as you turn, don't shift your weight back. You keep your weight on your leg. And then you shift. So as you turn, don't shift your weight back. Turn, keeping your weight on your legs. So your legs will start to become stronger. So you'll increase your balance and your strength. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So this time from behind. So weight onto your right leg. So remember, toes out, sink down, both knees bent. So we're going to shift on a backwards arc. 1. Remember, your right knee is bent. Turn, keeping your weight still on your left. Shift on a backwards arc to your right. Then turn, weight still on your right. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. So the next thing to look at is what your waist is doing. So in Tai Chi, we talk about the waist a lot. So the waist is quite important, especially in this figure of 8 movement. So if you have a look, so as I shift and turn, if I just turn my legs or not activate my waist, my knees are going to start to twist. Then I'm going to lose my structure, my balance, my root, and also start to hurt my joints as well. And that's wrong. We don't want that to happen. So we're going to do a little exercise to get you used to using your waist. So feet shoulder width apart, sink down into your hips. So from here, you can make like a little Tai Chi stance in front of your abdomen. You're going to keep your legs fixed, solid to the ground, and you're just going to turn from your abdomen. You're not going to have any movement in your legs. So it's a really small movement that you do in this drill. So you just turn to one side, trying to keep your legs fixed. So if you go big, you're going to start to move your legs. We don't want that to happen in this drill. So you turn back to the center, turn back to the other side, then back to the center, turn back to the center, turn to the other side, back to the center, turn back to the center. So as you're turning, try not to let your legs or your hips move. So you're just from your abdomen and your waist area. So you turn back to the center, turn back to the center. So if you do this drill for every day for a few minutes, it's really good to help coordinate your waist, really good for your kidneys. So it's also a kidney qigong as well. So we'll combine this together in the figure of 8. So if you step out, weight to your left, shift 1. Then here, use your waist to turn, and then shift. Use your waist to turn, so this will stop your legs coming in. You shift, turn, shift, turn, shift, turn, shift, turn, shift, turn, shift, turn. So you can even place your palms onto your dantian. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so from behind. So weight to your right. 1, 2, 1, 2. So your body is to this angle here, then you shift, it's still to this angle. Then you turn to the other angle, then shift, it's still there. Then you turn, and it comes to the other side. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then continuously. So from the front, continuously. Okay, so this movement, the figure of 8 movement, will take some time to get used to it, so don't worry. So keep practicing hard, and over time, you will start to get this movement, and your movement will become smoother and more continuous and flowing. And then also it'll start to open up your meridians in your legs and connect your lower body with your upper body, and this is what we want in Tai Chi practice.